recording. Stop. So anyway, you can continue and we can start again. And there's actually one person that's coming into room. So
Yeah.
hi, Maris. Welcome, Maris. Thank you for joining us. There's now 3 of us. But yeah, Daniel, we need to start again with the process. I won't be doing the same introduction I did already because we had technical difficulties, which is, I think it's pretty awesome that it happens at the moment. And there's people coming in, so great. Welcome. Anyway, my first question was about your background because most people don't know you, at least on this side of the planet in Estonia. And it would be great to hear about your background and how you ended up as a chief officer in Senklands.
Yes. Well, it started my own personal journey in health started a while ago. I started when I was 25, but there was never that was for personal purpose. I studied Chinese medicine, but it's not because I wanted to make a career in this, because that was a ridiculous thing to think. In the 80s in Canada, there was not even an official governmental approved Chinese medicine school. So I did it for my own needs. I was in the film industry. I graduated from film school and I worked in films, and very unhealthy lifestyle outside of, I was a sport person. I was a long distance swimmer, and I actually got into Chinese medicine for my personal need of back pain, actually. That got me into this. Like, to make a long story short, you know, in those years, Chinese medicine, you were finding in the Chinatown. Yeah, there was not even an official Chinese medicine school.
It was very underground.
It was, yes, it was all people who were like really nerds who studied in China and Japan, who lived there, you know, hippies, and who were really in traditional Chinese medicine, not what we have today, where it's more like a technique and acupuncture specialized. You know, they were really good teacher. I realized that later. At this time, I didn't know if they were good or not, but I was anyway just looking for to resolve my problem. So that's where I started, and I graduated in 1987. And at that same year, I actually did my first fast, and that was another strange thing, but because it was not like, we were not talking about cleansing in those years, but because of my problems and all this, you know, I was like very attentive to the things, and also my father, even if it was like, he was not like on a healthy lifestyle either, but he had a habit. Twice a year he was drinking stuff and he was purging himself, you know. And me as a kid, it just kind of stayed in my mind. And then one day I fell on a book. It was called Fasting by Dr. Herbert Shelton. He's water fast pope, you know. He was he kind of wrote a thick book on fasting, and I just devoured that book like this, you know. It was like, and I was so captivated that I immediately start looking for a center. I wanted to go to do one, you know. And in the book, you know, there was like people who heal all kinds of things through that and all this. So I didn't want to do a day or two. I wanted to do at least 3 weeks or something. Yeah, something consistent according to the you know, in the book it was like something that you would really benefit from. So I looked in the yellow pages. In those years there was no Google. I looked in the yellow pages and I found a center in the countryside somewhere in Quebec, Canada, where there was this old man. He was a scientist, he was a biologist, Mr. Rocan. I will never forget his name. And I signed up for 3 weeks. I regretted it so much. Oh my God.
That was a water fast, right?
It was a water fast, and hygienist method. It's not like, they lock you up in a room and you just like you jail down there. Of course you can leave if you want, but it's not my style. I was a sport person. I was kind of enjoying hardship. When you practice sport, you want to stop. No, this is where we say that you're improving, So I had this in myself for having been a sport person for a long time. I had this in my soul. So I went through a lot of difficult time during that period, like acid reflux, and I had emotional, like, so many things happening, and my skin was very bad also. I was like, my teenage lasted like in my 20s. I had acne, very serious acne, and it was really annoying. And at some point during the cleanse, my skin started to peel, and it was scary. It was really scary. And a few days later, I could see the new skin. It was soft, and it was like, there was some part difficult, and then there was a gift a few days later. One morning I woke up and it was like someone's squeezing my eye like this, and I was worried. And there was a nurse every day coming, asking you a few questions. Do you have this symptom? Do you have this symptom? Do you have this symptom? And I was telling her, hey, my eye, like I cannot see, it was like completely blurred, and the pain in it, I was telling her this, and she was very serious, taking her notes and saying goodbye. I say, after 3 days, I said, do you notice that I tell you that I think I'm losing an eye? And she said, well, there's some healing happening there. And you have, she was checking if I had any food nutrient deficiency with her question. So by answering no to her question, I had no, for her, everything was fine, But me, was like, it was much more difficult living it than what I read in the book. There was a lot of people going through a lot of hardship in the book, but for me it was fine. But
the way you described the part of being somehow difficult and then later on beautiful at the end, or getting more into the better side or benefits, it's kind of the same. It just reminded me what we see when the people or customers who try the cleanses, it's 60% the same, or okay, maybe not 60. I think 20% are those people who say that, oh fucking hell, this is so bad, this is so hard, this is so difficult. I have headache, I have pain here, pain there, I'm vomiting, and then later on they send you a letter that, oh, best thing I ever did.
Yeah. And there's also a big percentage of the population that as soon as they touch hardship, they step out of their comfort zone. They don't want to go there. They'd rather die. There's a big portion of society like this that cannot handle this unfamiliar area. It's like unknown. So so long story short, I came out of this experience and I was feeling so great. And people could tell, even if I was I was what, 27, 28 at this time, people would look at me and like say, oh my God, man, you look good. You know, what have you done? And it just, and for me, I was convinced because my I needed glasses before, my eyes that was squeezed. I was 20/20 after 4 days. It really fixed so there was many things beyond the hardship that convinced me, and I never stopped. I water fasted over 2 years of my life, like over 750 days. I did not eat in my life. If you I calculated this recently. If you put it like I was fasting 10 to 14 days, twice a year, religiously, and I did 5 times 1 month. I'm a fan. I was a fan of water fasting, and later on, I will make a big leap. I started to guide some people because all along I was taking friends and to have company, because I didn't go always in the center. It was expensive to do that. And so I did most of the time at home, unless I was doing a long month fast, then I was going in the center. But I did most of the time at home. And later on in 2009, in Bali, I was living in Bali at this time. I started to guide people through fasting. I felt very confident but I had no equipment at all when I was there. And a few years later, I moved back to China, and then I opened a center, full equipped with colonics, infrared sauna, massage service, Chinese medicine service. It was 4 floors, everything. The ground floor was a vegan restaurant. I had everything, Andy. I could really have a lot of fun guiding people. But still, my belief was like, water fast is the best. So for me to say, the juice fasting for me was like, it's like juice fasting. It's not a fast, it's a diet. I do that twice a year just to relax. I don't do that to cleanse. If I want to cleanse, I fast, So I have this kind of very hardcore attitude. But there was this, the moment, I realized that a lot of people I was shaking in when they were leaving and saying, thank you, Doc. I really appreciate the experience. I knew they would never do that again in their life. So for me, it was a feeling of failure. As a healer, I know it's never a one-shot deal. It's the detox is something to integrate it into your life. It's not like you do it and I did it. Some people tell me, oh yeah, I cleansed too. When was that? 7 years ago. Like I say, okay, replace cleansing by taking a shower. I was just to show them like the irony of that. Because cleansing is something to integrate, and it's part of the lifestyle. So I had this feeling of failure, but I really did not have a plan B. I did not have a plan B. But at the same time, my center was in the tourist area in China, and some people from Taiwan just passed in front, and they saw on the sign, detox center, Chinese medicine. They were curious, even if they were on holiday, and they just stopped and they talked to my wife, and they realized, it was Canadian Chinese medicine doing, so curly blue eye, it was like, for them, it was like, oh, it's interesting. So because when you're a foreigner and doing these things in China, you have a marketing potential, you know. So they wanted me to try the enzymes, but as a healer, I had a lot of resistance to sell things, you know, because I thought there was some conflict of interest. You say, okay, I think you need this, and by the way, I have some for sale, you know, like it. So I always resisted. So, but at some point they sent me plane tickets and hotel rooms, and I say, okay, let's go visit. And then I was ravished. I was hosted by Chinese medicine doctor, naturopathic doctor, PowerPoints, and all this. And at the same time, they were giving me the drinks, you know.
Mm.
Yeah, so I was drinking this, and it's easy, tasty, and you know, I was kind of enjoying myself very much. I really enjoyed that day. And at the end of the day, they just give me my bucket and my 2 chopsticks, and they wanted me to collect my my release in the morning. For me, there was nothing shocking in this. I had seen this before because every cleanses that exist on the market, I think over those 35 years, I tried pretty much everything. I think I should not say everything, but mostly what people talk about, I know it, you know. So I've seen plaque before coming out, and so I was not to be impressed by that. I knew what they meant, but the next morning, when I saw what came out, what my reaction was not like, oh my God, what's that? Or spectacular. It was all the faces of the people I saw shaking my hands in the past, you know, that I knew they would never do that again. I just thought if I had this at that moment, maybe these people would be on a self-healing path.
Mm.
It would have pursued, you know, because there's not so much hardship, even there's still detox. There's some, you know, it's not a mojito on the beach, but, you know, I thought that this could really help people to integrate detoxing in their life. And I thought it would democratize detoxification, you know, because before it was really to just reserved to a certain type of people. But I thought that this would be able to enter every houses and really make a big shift in the health of people, you know. So yeah.
Thanks for your background story. It's actually good and interesting to hear that where you started and where you are now. And I think that since we are quite in time limited session today, we have to for those who are watching us, we are going to end this conversation around 6:30 p.m. So within 1 hour. And if there are questions that I have written out, or I have maybe some extra spontaneous ones, which I don't have the time to ask you, Daniel, then maybe if people are interested and if you and I are interested and the vibe is still there, we can do maybe a session 2 in a couple of months, or we'll see. Anyway, let's go to the health section before we go into enzymes, because for me the enzymes part is the most interesting, because this is something I haven't actually gone very depth into. So we will talk about those things as well. But from the health side, you have said that our health has been dogmatized. What do you mean exactly by it? Give us some examples, please.
That the healthcare system has been dogmatized.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been it's health is a natural state Okay, it's a natural state. The human beings live in a ecosystem. We are the sprouts of the earth, and it's a system that is self-maintained. But at the moment, there is a part of health that has been destroyed by the healthcare system at the moment. Okay, in TCM, in traditional Chinese medicine, there is 3 levels of medicine. There's 3 levels. There's the upper medicine, the middle medicine, and the lower medicine. The higher medicine is lifestyle. What you eat, your exercise, your stress management, your cleansing, all this is your lifestyle. Okay, because if you look at what people die from nowadays and what are the major sicknesses at the moment, you will realize that they're all lifestyle related.
Mm-hmm.
So that means like a doctor cannot heal you. As simple as that. Okay, because they will not, they cannot correct. They don't have the knowledge to correct your lifestyle. They did not study this. So this is the upper medicine. The middle medicine is the natural healer. So the middle medicine is like acupuncture, naturopathic. It's something that that along with your lifestyle, there's some imbalances, and they will try to correct that, to restore balance, to send you back home to your lifestyle as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm.
It's not again it's as soon as possible. We do that, it's temporary. Okay, we'll give you some supplements, we'll give you some some pills, some exercises, some whatever, something that will help you to restore that balance and then send you back home. And then you have the lower medicine. The lower medicine is to save life. Is the chemical medicine, is the surgery, is all those emergency things that are done. And this is very, very short. This needs to be short. Okay, and it's in case of emergency, and if you can avoid it, you avoid it. And at the moment, this is the only medicine that is offered, that is sponsored by the governments, but are sponsored by the institutions, and that are put into our minds all our life. You're sick, you go see the doctor, give you chemicals. Nobody will tell you about how to grow a healthy lifestyle. Nobody will tell you how to eat, what to eat when you have this, what to take, what kind of herb, how to self-manage, what's the importance of exercise, what is the importance of stress management, of communication, everything that makes someone happy and healthy. This will have no education about that. And even if you talk about this openly, that you could do this, you could do that, they will say, well, it may help, but don't count on this. It's immediately ridiculed, and with all the knowledge that we have today, it's actually impossible that.
So, but my question is,
if you don't know
okay,
that.
but my question is that I do agree with you, and I do see this a lot, and I do feel that people all over the world see the same thing. But at the same time, what do you think that could be the solution? I mean, should there be more science-based trials or some, I don't know, some.
The science exists already. The science exists. I wrote 200 articles on 200 plants. They're all from Harvard, Mayo Clinic. It's all from the universities. It's all it's the thing is like they will never promote it. but with the science is there. But who's gonna have the discipline to go look for that? Do you think that naturopathic medicine is not scientifically proved?
I think some of it at least.
It's all proven. What everything that is taught in naturopathic medicine school has been tested for ages. There's documents, there's a lot of things. Everything I say and all the ingredients that we choose, who do you think are in the lab for us, our research and development? Traditional Chinese medicine, naturopathic medicine, and scientists. They are the ones choosing the natural whole plant to give the effect that we have.
Mhm.
You know, it's like we say, is it proven scientifically? There's the wrong medication is the number 3 cause of death. So don't tell me, you know, it's proven what? You know, it's not, you know, we've got to be careful that because of the marketing. This is 2 different things, and this is the biggest difficulty that we're meeting, because it is not supported. So we need to develop this parallel. It's a parallel system. We cannot count on the system the actual system to help develop this part. It's happening underground. Even the natural healers at the moment are put in the marketplace like peddlers. They need to sell, they need to do marketing to attract the people. You'll never see a doctor doing this. It's all government promoted, university promoted. It's the government who promotes. So do you see, you go see the doctor, he see you 15 minutes, sign a paper, send you to somebody else. He doesn't want to see you again. You go for the blood test, sign a paper, send you to another one. And the feeling is like, oh my God, they're taking care of me. But actually they cannot, you know, they're very good at diagnosis. I work with doctors, you know, don't take me wrong. It's not that I don't see any use. It's just if we talk about this, the whole system, this is where the problem is, because you know, it's only the doctors who kind of wake up, or the doctors who really want to help the people, and the other ones that have been to university and got into, you know, their life and got married and got mortgages and big cars and everything. They stopped studying after university. They graduated and they didn't inquire necessarily more. And this is the majority, but there are a lot of doctors and more who decide to say, wait a minute, this is true. It's lifestyle related. The nutrition is so important. The biggest book on nutrition, I told you about fasting. Who wrote it? Dr. Herbert Shelton. And who is the another pope? The co-pope of detox is Dr. Bernard Jensen. They're all, you know, Dr. Gershon. They're all doctors who wrote those books, and it became famous because it helps to have MD after your name. That's for sure. Then this is cool. There's no problem. But these are my mentors. These have been my mentors, you know. And of course, I have other. We got Chinese name, but you know, and these two don't disagree. They like to talk together. But the system is debunking constantly the natural medicine. And this is, you know, the natural medicine has been built over millenniums, you know. It's like, and even the chemical medicine has been firstly made with natural, you know. The Valium is valerian. The first Valium was valerian based. After that, they synthesize and they chemical it and they mass produce it, you know. But it has some side effects because the whole plant have a synergy together, you know, that there's a balance, and the chemical just take the active substance and blast it. But this has the body system, when it looks at that, say, what is that? You know, it's a threat. It's a threat, it's a poison, and there's a lot of red alerts that is happening. And I'm not saying, again, if there's an emergency, we got to do it,
Mhm.
and it's fine. But this is emergency case. But right now, everybody who's got a cold, everybody's got a headache, go to, and they get the anti-inflammatory, antibiotics for everything, and it destroys the system. And it destroys the stomach. You get all kinds of hormones given to people. All this, it destroys the system. It doesn't heal anything. It balances something temporarily, artificially, without resolving the root cause.
Mhm.
So the root cause is still there, pumping more, and So for example, I'll give you an example, very personal. My mother has been diagnosed with high blood pressure. She was 37 years old. Okay, so she started taking high blood pressure medicine, and her blood pressure was okay. She's 85. 3 months ago, she broke out in sweat in her kitchen, and she sat on the ground to avoid hurting herself. And she called the nurse. Where she lives, there's a nurse in the building, and the nurse came, took her blood pressure, and she had low blood pressure. So she called her doctor. The doctor said, okay, if you have a low blood pressure, don't take your high blood pressure pill. That could be dangerous, right? So, and we will take an appointment for you to check what's going on. So by the time she had her appointment, this is over 3 months ago, she doesn't have high blood pressure anymore.
And
I say, Mom, what did you do? What did you do? She said, I didn't do nothing. I said, I only take enzyme for 3 years. I send her enzyme all the time, my mom. Yeah. So for 3 years, she's been taking, and she loves the mycelia because after our vaccine, she got a blood clot in her right leg, and her leg got swollen. And this is when I decided to bring the mycelia on the market. I wanted to wait a little bit, not to overwhelm people with too many products. I just brought it immediately. I sent her a box, and after 2 days, her leg came back. So can you imagine, for her, mycelia is a religion. She doesn't want to hear about any other of my products. She wants the mycelia, So, but the mycelia is again, you talk about, like, do we have scientific data? Google mushroom polysaccharide. Go on Harvard, go on Mayo Clinic, go on Livestrong, all of the best reference in science. Mushroom polysaccharide, anti-inflammatory, anti-blood clotting. It's all listed there. They will never tell you this on 5 o'clock news. They will not.
Probably not.
So there is, it's like, I don't spend my life talking about this and getting enraged about this conspiracy, but definitely there is. They hide you something that is very well known and it could help people. And it does, and it could, and it doesn't reject the thing, the whole system. We still need all. And this is what I see for the future. We need to have a consortium of healers who are specialized in different things. Exercises, detox, stress management, communication, name it, detox specialists for lifestyle. We need the naturopathic doctor, we need the osteopath, we need the chiropractor, we need the TCM doctor, we need them all. We need the surgeon, we need the doctors, we need the one who can save your life, the nurses, we need them all. This is a healthcare system, but right now, we have just the most damaging part on the long term. It saves life, but everything beyond that, if you don't offer the other service, then this is where the problem occurs, because you never work on bringing people back. So this is what our job is. And this is what we are into it. And this is what we're doing. And we are not playing doctor. We're very, very simple. We offer whole food. The blends are made by doctors and everything, but it's made for everyone, cannot hurt anyone. And, you know, we're not claiming that it heals this or heals that. We are not into fighting disease business. We are in the feeding life business. We are not in the fear-based business. We are in the feed-based business. We are celebrating life. This is what we're doing, because high vibration and all this, I tell you, health is a natural state. But what happens? Every day people poison themselves.
And they get used to it because the body adapts to the
Well, yes, and it's easy, it's convenient, you know, the cake is good 3 weeks on the counter, and you know, and then I want some, you know, some snacks, and this is filled with trans fat that the liver, it clogs the liver. 30%, over 30% of the population is actually suffering from a fatty liver. The liver does 500 function. There's almost every illnesses implies the liver. People don't know. Nobody will tell them, you know, it's like that. The body clogs. We feed people with junk, with chemicals, with preservatives, with fake fats. We poison everything around. So no wonder we get sick. No wonder, you know, it's just like you don't want to be healthy, but every day you kill yourself. Yeah, you don't walk, align yourself with nature, you know, have some exercise, relax, eat well, you'll see the difference very fast. It's natural. We're part of an ecosystem. And this is what, that's why I say it's so simple. It's too simple. And of course, you know, it's like we will put a lot of industry down to do that. If we, you know, the day this will happen, you know, they will not have much people as sick anymore. They will not have much surgery, you know. For example, the people, you get something, you get gallstones in the gallbladder. You go see that and you don't feel good, you have pain. Oh, we need to remove your gallbladder. Everyone who came to see us with this, in one day was empty their gallbladder. Everyone, 100%. It's not if, just do it. And you go and you see on YouTube, you know, the horror I see every day is terrible. You know, it's like you see on YouTube, doctor this, you know, it's the gallstones is a sham. You know, I just had a surgeon posting a YouTube recently, and you see him with the gallbladder flat removed, and you just empty it, and you see the gallstones. Exactly the same as we see after people do their cleanse.
Yeah, because that's one thing that we keep hearing when someone does the liver cleanse and has those stones coming out of after the cleanse, then a lot of people they tend to think that these are not the stones. This is something else that, I don't know. They think that it's oils being piled into a stone or something.
Amazing what they can make people believe, you know. It's like, how come the oil would get hard into a 39-degree body? You know, it's like you put it in the fridge, okay, the oil would get hard, will not get green, olive oil will get a little yellow, okay, and will get a little muddy, okay, will not get hard, and if you leave it on the counter room temperature, it gets back liquid. Why? Because it's a liver cleanse, it gets hard. You know, there's nonsense constantly thrown, you know, the same thing with the mucoid plaque. It's the same thing, you know, you see that and they say it's a scam, it's all this. Yeah, it's like this is the product you ingest that is coming out. Yeah, why is sometimes coming out brown, sometimes coming out black, sometimes it's coming out yellow, sometimes it's got worms in it, you know, this is all the product. It was like what? You know, it's like it's nonsense. Constantly all nonsense. Today I was at the gym and I had a message and I cried.
Mm.
It was a lady, a young lady, who just shared in the group that she had lupus.
Mm.
It's an incurable disease. Incurable disease. Don't argue that. You'll get locked down. She did.
So
Lyme, same thing, you know. It's like it's like, you know, it's like that doesn't make me angry, but that really lights my lights inside, you know. Come on, you know. And
well, it gets it gets your attention and your focus on it. But okay, well, let's go to the enzymes part, because this is something that you sort of, it's a I sort of see you when I picture you talking about enzymes and the products, then I immediately see that you see enzymes as a God particle, because these are so powerful, and I really need to dig into it more. But I really want you to speak about enzymes. Why are they so powerful, and what are those? Where do we get those? How many different enzymes do we have in our body? Your opinion and take on enzymes, please.
Yeah. Well, you know, first, when we study medicine, we there's a chapter on enzymes, you know, but we pass, and then, you know, it gets among all the things that you've learned. When I had the experience with the enzyme, I started to study more and dig why and all this, you know. So just to make people understand, enzyme is not like, oh, one more vitamin, you know, or one more mineral that we discovered that is a miracle. This is completely different. The enzyme is a protein, and it's a spark. You know, in a car you have the fuel, and then you can say minerals and vitamins. This is fuel for the body. Yeah, it's the building blocks and the things that makes it happen. But the enzyme is the spark plug. Okay, so no enzyme, no life. No matter how many vitamins you have in your body, no matter whatever you eat, organic, raw, the best, no more enzyme, nothing sparks, nothing happens, because you have different kinds of enzymes. You have the metabolic enzymes. Metabolic enzyme is what makes your metabolism work. Okay, so to beat your heart, pump your blood, move my finger, think. All this is metabolic enzymes, and you cannot supplement this. It's only the body can make this. You cannot. Then you have the digestive enzyme. The digestive enzyme take care of digestion and detox, because detox is a digestive process. You digest this gunk. Okay, it's a digestive process. So what is the science behind that? Is like, you don't born with a certain amount of metabolic enzyme and a certain amount of digestive enzyme. It's called source enzyme. This is the theory in the scientific world. There's more studies happening right now that you have source enzyme. It's like you given at birth a bank account of enzyme. Okay, go through that and then you die. Okay, so you have this and then you go broke and that's it. But the thing is, like, as we age, because when we're young, personally, you know, me, I was like, I didn't know anything. I was burning out. My personality was like all over the place. I was very active and I was eating like a pig. Okay, was my thing, my appetite always been very, very big. And I didn't have a problem. I was eating like a pig, feeling good, no problem, until I got over 40. Then I started to, whoop, feeling a little tired after eating, I'll go have a nap or something like that. This is very common when you have a certain age, Why is that? It's because digestion is for the body is kind of an emergency situation. You cannot leave that and I'll take care of this tomorrow. It will clog the body and it's painful and you can die from it and indigestion, right? So the body will say, okay, bank account, enzyme, go towards digesting this. What happened when your bank account is lower after 40, 50 years of life? They'll say, okay, I will keep the heart beating. I will keep the lung pumping and, essential services functioning. But vitality, clear-minded, this is not essential. So sit down in this living room and I need to digest. Okay, I'll get back to you later.
There's no resources.
That is it's like with the bank account, not enough to invest everywhere anymore. Okay, and we eat like 3 meals a day, like pigs, and we sit in the sofa or an office. This is irrational. Also, that's another thing. And so what happens? So the metabolic enzyme cannot be supplemented. You cannot take a pill of metabolic enzyme. But the digestive enzyme, you have the food enzyme. Every living thing, that is meat or vegetables, plants, herb, mushroom, everything has an enzyme in it. That's why they self-break down if you leave them on the counter there. You take a piece of cooked meat or a cooked vegetable, they will last longer if you don't have a dog. Okay? So because they break down because of the enzyme. So if you eat raw food, for example, it won't ask much of the digestion to the people. There's only this cellulose thing, what makes the salad crack, like this, and you just pass it on top of the kettle when it's steaming and it goes down, right, very quickly because you broke the cellulose. Some people at first, when their digestive system is weak, it may have problem with raw food, but otherwise, it's all right. They will never have a problem with this outside of cellulose because it's self-digesting. It breaks down itself, much easier to digest normally. Okay, so what will if I get to so you can supplement enzyme to help the digestion, but if you eat raw, it will not help you digest cooked because it's only self-sustained. They will digest itself, but they cannot help much the piece of meat you had, the cooked steak you had outside of it. If you have supplemented enzyme that we ferment for 3 years, then this job is taken care of. So what you feel, it's like, oh, there's a lot of food there, but oh, there's an army that just came in to take care of this. Cool. I'll go, and vitality is coming back. The other metabolic functions start to be sparked and happen, and clarity of mind and all this is coming back. Do you understand? That you understand that the thing is like there's no more to invest so much towards the digestion, so the metabolic function start to increase. So this is what enzymes are. So the digestive enzyme are little Pac-Mans who break down the food into nutrients. Protein in amino acid, fat into fatty acid, sugar into glucose, it breaks down into a material that can go into the blood and be used by the body, because the body cannot accept food. It can only accept nutrient. So when you eat here and it's in your tube, you're still outside of your body. Maybe you didn't know that. It's look inside, pretty much inside, but actually not inside your system yet.
Mhm.
It needs to cross the lining of the small intestine, and then it penetrates the blood and it becomes like nutrients. And then it will go across the liver, which is the first filter there. Can you imagine this filter? Since birth, it's been filtering all the gunk that has penetrated your blood system through the mouth and through the nose and through the skin. There's poison in the food, there's poison in the air, and there's poison in cleaning products. Poison entering every single entrance into the system. So the liver is there, doing the job the best it can, but very rapidly. He's like, come on, I can't handle all this workload. And it clogs. And then it allows unwanted particles into the bloodstream. But the body's intelligent. It's got a second system, the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system say, oh, you're not supposed to be here. I'll come, you got in, and it filters it, and digests it and release it through the sweat, through urine, piece some in the, it releases it. And whatever didn't block there, then you have the kidney, which is another filter. So, and it's all what we're doing according to the ingredients. The God-given plants have different compounds. Because if you look at our things, papaya, mushrooms, seaweeds, and herbs, and so what is the difference? It's not for flavor. It's got different compounds and different nutrients in it.
Mhm.
Okay, and some compounds will have more effect on, why there's 60 ingredients in the Zen Cleanse 1, the intestinal, because there's so much variety of gunk into the small intestine, and you need a variety of enzymes to process that, because enzymes are very specialized. If I'm a protease, I pass next to a piece of sugar, not interested.
Mhm.
So you need to have very specialized a variety of enzymes in order to process everything that can be found into the intestine. And there's over 60 ingredients in this one. Okay, and it doesn't mean that it will not cross into the bloodstream. Also, it's food, so it goes into the bloodstream partly. That's why some people have liver symptoms, or even some people have kidney symptoms when they do the liver cleanse, for example. Like they feel like they have a urinary tract infection, but it's not. It's just because they just passed a little piece of sand into their urine and it irritated their urethra. So because the enzyme still move into the bloodstream. And then when we address the liver, we have different ingredients, because we need to have compounds, specialized compound that will work on this. So in the liver cleanse, you have enzymes that will soften the stones, because the problem when the gallstones are trapped into the gallbladder is because they're hard and they cannot go through the duct. So we have enzyme that soften, and this is malic acid. Malic acid from apples. It softens the stone.
Mhm.
And we have other enzyme that will purge and relax the duct. This is all from nature. And we have the flush, that is just to push out the gunk out of the liver and the gallbladder. Okay, so and then we keep going, you know, we create the other products for the lymphatic system and specialized ingredients. This is the selection of ingredient that makes them work more on the system than in another.
That was going to be one of the questions today, that how do you create, or how is it possible, because some people actually asked the same question, and I do know that I asked the question from you a couple of months ago as well, that how is it possible that all the products you have, which are basically all enzymes related, there's different bunch of ingredients in those products, how is it possible that all the products do a certain very specific job on certain specific organ or part of the body? But that's
I already answered that question. Yeah, it's the selection of ingredients, and this is where the traditional Chinese medicine and the naturopathic medicine doctor know. You know. So
when you talk about enzymes, okay, what could be incorporated into your lifestyle or even diet to make the enzymes or enzyme production or consumption even more powerful or more meaningful for your body? Is there any more tips, like, okay, increase the amount of enzyme to take, or do more cleanses? Is there anything else you feel that people need to be looking out for?
Yes. Actually, you know, the enzyme is, as I said before, it's kind of a foundation, because it had some power, but all the other aspects of the lifestyle is still important, you know, because, you know, like you plant something, let's say you have a land, and in front of your land is a river right there, and you clean your liver and all this, but the neighbor, there's a factory just upstream there. You need to resolve that problem, because you're going to keep cleansing. You know, you need to take care of the upstream, and this is what nutrition is important. And this lifestyle, what do you put inside? What do you inject inside your system? And what you inject in your system is not only physical. Okay, we are a holistic being. If you are just a physical thing, you would be a machine, a robot. But you have emotions, and you have thoughts and ideas and words that come. So what makes a person healthy is, you need to consider everything, because every thought you have will have physical impact. If you're just there sitting in the park alone, and then you have this thought of, oh my God, my dog got hit by a car, Ken got hit by a car, you know, you tense. What happens? Your heartbeat, you know, you have physiological effect. Your adrenal secreted the adrenaline, and all these kind of things. You're poisoning yourself from inside. Yeah, and then emotions catch up. The same thing. You need to have a holistic view. So the stress management, the emotional management is unavoidable. You know, let's say for someone who has cancer, for example. Someone who has cancer, it's not only a physical thing. It mirrors in the physical. You see it happening in the physical, but what is the source? There's some people eating organic having cancer. Yeah, so it's a metabolic dysfunction. It's a metabolic dysfunction. Why is like the body so that it has roots in other aspects of your being. So stress management is very, very important. You need to smile. You need to have a good time. You need to have a happy work towards a happy life, happy thoughts, happy emotion. It's very important for the whole balance. This is one thing. The second thing, okay, I go backward. Normally I go from the other side, but now I don't know, make a difference. I need to other guy. I get bored repeating, you know. So the other side is the body. It requires movement. The body requires movement. Now, you know, nowadays we eat like construction guy, and we sit at the office. Then we stand up in the middle of the morning because there's a break, and we go eat a little cake with a little soda or a coffee with sugar. And then, you know, we come back, sit at the office, and then stand up, go to the pub or go to the restaurant and eat like a pig, soup, main course, and dessert. Come back, sit at the office, stand up, go in your car, sit in your car, go back home, cook a meal for the family, eat like a pig, go sit on the sofa for the evening, stand from the sofa, go into your bedroom, lie down for 8 hours. And you ate like a construction guy. What do you think? Nonsense. This is nonsense. This is killing yourself. This is killing yourself. This is, you know, is like the body needs movement. If you're an office guy, you know, it's like I sit every day so much in front of the computer and talking and yeah, I do that. It's religious. It's like I have my only vehicle here is a bicycle, and I take it to go to the gym to do exercise, go out, walk. And it's a religion. Yeah, I need to for my balance. Otherwise, I clog and I feel heavy and I just, you know, like don't think clear. All this, you know, it's important. The lymphatic system is a parallel network with the blood vessels, but it doesn't have a pump of its own like the heart has. It requires movement to move and to detox and expel. You need a sweat. And it's not like I'm not talking about 2 hours of yoga a week. I'm talking every day.
Mhm.
You need that. Yeah, like you need a shower. The exercise is if you dream, if you aim, if you desire to be healthy, is essential. And not overeating. Yeah, if you want if people say, well, what do you recommend if you had only one thing to say to someone to be healthy? This is what I say. Don't eat too much. Let the body cleanse itself. Eat as close to nature, a variety of food, so you have a variety of nutrients, of minerals, of vitamins, and all this. And don't eat too much. Give the time to the body to break it down and to absorb it. Don't clog it, because that's what happened. What is aging? What is making people getting lower on energy and sicker and sicker? Because people die at 78, but most of them been sick for 20, 25 years before. It's the system go down because why? Because it clogs. The body clogs, the digestive system clogs. Then you don't have a good absorption of nutrients, so you're not fueled very well. Your cells are not fueled very well, and then it goes and the liver clogs and the blood get dirty and the cells get fed with all kinds of, you know, everything is clogged. This is what it is. It's simple. Being sick is not a bad luck. There's a root cause. There's a reason. Of course, I'm not saying this to insult anyone, because it's like there's a lot of things that are unconscious. Like when I was junkie, eating very badly. I born in 61 when all the junk food came in America. It's like, I was buying all my stuff ready. I didn't know about any juices or anything. It was like everything from the supermarket. Yeah. So this is one thing: exercise, stress management, and the food as close to nature as possible. And detox. And detox is the basic, because most of the causes of sickness is linked to the clogging of the system. That creates a stress, and then there's hormonal imbalances happening and all kinds of side effects. But if you try to balance your hormone, if you don't resolve the stress that has been caused by the body, that the fact that the body is clogged, you're caught in a vicious circle. You're like the guy cleaning his river with the factory upstream that didn't change his life, his habit, So it's very simple, and this is disarming, because people, with all that we've learned, we've said it's complicated. It's like, oh my God, you're serious? It's like we got to do something, It's like, it's so simple. It's so simple. Realign yourself with life. Realign your health with nature, with your nature, because I'm not saying that, I will not tell you what to eat. I will tell you how to detox your body so you can come back to your wild nature, so you know what you want. So because what you know what you need, because your body, you live in Estonia. Another one lives in the tropics. Another one lives in London, where it's wet and cold. Another one lives in Saudi Arabia. Do you think that they need to eat the same thing?
No.
Of course not. Of course not. It's different temperature, different climates, different, and also people. There's some people that are more apathetic. They will need a little boost. And another one is like a nerve on a spring. And if you give them the same food that makes the apathetic person feeling energetic, who killed the other one from a heart attack? You know what I mean? It's like there's all these consideration, and we tend to normalize these things in the system. But this is just to satisfy I don't know what, but it doesn't work. It doesn't work. This is not how it works. You need to clean the slate, bring your organs and system back to their original state as much as possible. Feed yourselves with the best nutrients. Fuel them. Fuel your Ferrari with the best fuel. Huh? Because we talk about about this to the people. If we say you need to cleanse your car, also, yeah, I need to cleanse my car. Oh yeah, twice a year I do it, and I do that, and I put this is the oil. Oh, I heard this one not so good, and they talk about this, but they go to the supermarket and take everything on the shelf and stuff themselves with that.
Because they are taking, I think people are just taking their life granted. They don't think ahead, and they don't think that the things you do, the bad things you do to your body over time, that it accumulates. I think it's because you don't see the results right away. So you think you're safe until you actually have a developed truly hard life disease or any some other stuff.
Yeah, but it's education. We educate people much more about their car. That's the difference. They explain to you why you need to cleanse your car. Nobody told you that why you need to cleanse your body. Your liver is a filter. Your kidney is a filter. The lymphatic system is a filter. Nobody tell you that you need to cleanse your filter. But if you say, "Oh, but my car," oh yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
And I assume that you're also saying that one cleanse won't, well, most of the times it won't do the job, but it might do the job if the person who does the cleanses is actually, for example, yourself, you've been practicing the water fast for I don't know how long. So that might help if a person is actually really conscious about the past choices and the body being in a great shape and in condition. So one cleanse might help actually do a lot of beneficial things for the body. But for the most
Yes.
people, you actually need to do more than one.
yes, yes. You know, it's like there's two categories, let's say that, just to make it clear, because we're all, that's another training we had, the magic pill. Take this pill. You have high blood sugar, take this pill. And half an hour later, your blood sugar is okay. Wow. You know, you have high blood pressure, take this pill. 1 hour later, blood pressure back. You know, it's like, wow, we're used to that. But this is not how it works to bring back health. To bring back health, you need to clean the slate. So this depends how dirty you are.
Mhm.
So, and people say, "Oh, yeah, but how long it would take?" Because people want to know, you know, what kind of contract they're signing up to, you know. I tell you, it's take 2 years. Maybe not finish after 2 years, but I tell you, people won't recognize you. They will not recognize you. All your symptoms, the biggest thing, I tell you, 2 years of consistent. I'm not talking about cleansing your intestine only. Cleansing your whole body system. Okay, so if you have chronic illnesses, okay, this is I'm talking about if you have chronic illnesses, you need to have at least a 2-year ready to invest to go back to your safe spot, that you will feel deeply inside that you're safe. And if the job is not done, you will know that you just need to keep going and you'll be so happy to do it. If you've done the job before, you already know. So you've done those 2 years before. Okay, maybe you did it through different methods. Maybe it was slower. Maybe, you know, you already ate, you know, or you learned earlier in your life. Now, I see people, my God, they're 20, 25. They're already so conscious about that. I was like, cool, you're going to kick, yeah? For a long time, if you take care of all the other aspects, emotional and all these kind of things, but they already have integrated a lot of things. And this is what, you know, this, if you want me to talk in my ideal world, a kid go to school at 5 or 6, right? By the time he comes out at 16 from the high school, we're talking about 11 years, right? He should know how to eat. He should know how to heal most of his things. He should know why exercise is so important. He should know how to relate with his friends and his you know, and his partners and that like this. He should know how to fix a pipe. You know, he should know how to, you know, things like that help you to be happy in life. Because right now we study how to push buttons and become like so specialized. And then we arrive at 22 and the society tells, okay, go get married and be healthy and happy. Like, you didn't tell me that. You did not teach me that. Right? It's like, but imagine if that means like whatever I'm telling you right now, I'm talking to adults here and maybe some people who are quite advanced in their age. Normally at 16 or 17, you should be a master. And I'm not telling you that you need to dedicate all you cannot study to read math and biology or you know, all these things. No, don't need it. Don't need a little moment every day. Or you take cases, someone's sick in the class, you know, to talk about it. It's like, it's just the way it's transmitted, this simple knowledge, because as I say, to be healthy is natural. This is the normal state. And it's now it's made an exceptional state. You're healthy. Wow. Unbelievable. You're 50, you're 60, you're healthy. Wow. You know? Oh, you can still play tennis and you're 60. Wow.
But that should be normal.
This is like, it's like, my God, yeah, you bet. It should be normal. We're designed to, if we take care of the machine, it will last much longer. Yeah.
Daniel, we are running out of time, unfortunately. Is there any final words you would like to say to our listeners before we head off? And then hopefully, if people did enjoy our talk, I do actually think that they did, and I'm very, I think it's very unfortunate that I have a time limited restriction at the moment, so I'm sorry on my behalf. But I hope we can see you again on this topics or these topics to talk about more, because there's a lot of questions I actually didn't ask, and I'm still curious about different things. So before I end this meeting, is there anything else you would like to add?
Well, like I think the last thing I said, and I would like to stop fighting disease, celebrate life, feed life, stop walking towards illnesses every day, walk towards health, learn about it every day, improve. Just health is a normal state. So this is what is the good news. It's not a special state where you got to do too many things. You got to stop poisoning yourself. That's it. Start like this. Stop poisoning yourself physically, emotionally, mentally. Stop being afraid of everything that every news put in your mind. Celebrate, have fun, enjoy life. Picture in yourself in a beautiful space in 5 years from now. I'll follow you. I'll keep coming, checking on you.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome, Chris.
Well, I hope it isn't too late for you to go to bed.
No. I rarely go to bed before that. No worries.
Okay. Thank you, and thank you everyone who participated in this live. I will upload this conversation for you to rewatch or share with your friends. I will re-upload it, I think, this week, so you can keep eye on Estonian page, Cleansify Estonia or Cleansify Eesti. Cleansify Estonia, you will obviously find it. Anyway, thanks again, and keep in touch.
So welcome. Okay, bye Chris. Bye.